Hello, everyone. Um, it's a pleasure again to come your way today. Yesterday we had a wonderful time, and today we're looking at another wonderful moment as well. Um, we've been dealing with handling difficult conversations, and today we are looking at a very interesting topic as well. I welcome all of you to Womb of Wisdom, abbreviated WOW, so we call it the WOW Show. We thank you for allowing us into your space. Thank you in advance for supporting this great job with your subscription, likes and shares, questions, contributions, emails, text messages, gift tokens, to get the conversation going. I know many people will benefit because your contribution made it possible to reach them. Don't forget to send us your love when you join the program. If you wish to support us to continue this great job, you can send us email on cohesiveroom@gmail.com or text to 34765873885, and we'll be very glad to work along with you. Again, we have artificial intelligence created Womb of Wisdom paintings. If you are interested in any of them, if you make contact, you send the email, we'll be able to send you copies so you can decorate your home and be part of the family. We'll go straight to today's topic. Today's topic is quite interesting because of the statistics we've been looking at in our earlier episode. We're looking at, do children go through stress? From the statistics we saw yesterday, we are finding ourselves, we're trying to find out if children go through stress. I am not giving statistics now because we've seen a lot of the statistics in the earlier episode we did. The answer to the question, do children go through stress, is yes. Children can experience stress just like adults. I was blown away just by that line. Like, children can go through stress just like adults. What are we talking about here? Because if you're an adult and you are stressed out, you are able to look for stuff to do to relieve yourself of the stress and feel good and manage life and go on. But we're talking about stress with children, and it says it's just like the stress an adult go through. Stress is a natural reaction to difficult or challenging situation, and children can experience stress from a variety of sources such as academic pressure, family problems, bullying, and other social and emotional issues. In the earlier discussions, we came across academic pressure, we came across family problem. Bullying was not mentioned in the earlier episode, and the other social and emotional issues. I again find this very disturbing, and if you have children around you, I bet with you, because this can really be something very terrifying, that you have a child going through stress, and unlike an adult being able to have a discussion and decide on what to do A, B, C, these children would have to even find however they would be able to express it for a parent, a guardian, an adult to know that they're going through something. I believe it's very important that we get to know and understand some of these things so that we'll be better at parenting, or even, providing some guidance for younger ones. And when I think about this, it makes me remember Africa, because in Africa you have our mothers and our grandmothers around who assist in taking care of children. And so there is some sort of social system or family system that helps with the gaps that comes along with parenting. So if a mother is nursing a baby and through the night she's not able to have a good rest, the mother is always around, takes the baby after the baby has breastfed, and get the mother some kind of a breather to breathe, to sleep, so the baby can be with the grandmom, sisters, cousins, the extended family network. Here in America, it doesn't happen naturally like that. Few cases I've had, mothers or people or in the family who come around, most of them would ask to be paid, because they also obviously have bills to pay. So if they spend their time with you, then it must make sense. So if it is not like that here, what it means is that parenting could be very challenging right here in America. It's a whole responsibility. It's a huge job. It's not an easy thing for parents to go about raising children. I hope we will be able to take some clues from this, and then we see how we'll be able to integrate the extended family system to help with raising the children. Children may exhibit different signs of stress depending on their age and developmental stage. Young children may become clingier, cry more often, have nightmares, or regress in their behavior. And I got very troubled with this one as well. Like, when children are stressed, they get nightmares. How would they tell the experience? I mean, adult would be able to narrate the story. We'll be able to pray. We'll be able to do whatever spiritual exercise that get us to lighten up again. But when a child has a nightmare and they wake up from sleep, they don't have even speech. They are not able to express. I mean, how do they handle that? I'm trying to, rewind and see if I can appreciate it from having gone through childhood before, but we forget most of these memories. So if a child is going through now, how do you figure it out? And how do you help this child? When we have nightmares, we don't wake up to go and take shower. But when a child has nightmares, we have nightmares, and sometimes our head will be pounding, our heart will be pounding, and all that. We would just relax and say whatever prayer or whatever exercises we've got to do to bring ourselves back to normal and continue our sleep. But parent would probably, out of the worry, the concern, the confusion, and everything, might shower the baby. I don't know. Mothers have very special instinct, and shout out to all mothers. Big respect. I mean, we love you. You've been wonderful. You've been amazing in our lives. Mothers, thank you. I mean, I wish I have a much better word than saying thank you, but I say thank you on behalf of every human being on earth. You are the gateway. Everyone had come out to this world with our challenges and all the issues we have. You were still mothers. You still remained in your role. You played your role. At least you held on to us for 9 good months. With all the different, no pregnancy is the same. All the things you've gone through, we are grateful. We are grateful. And on behalf of any mother who is disappointed in a child, I say sorry, and I tell you it's not your fault. sometimes we can't do anything about something. And I don't know any mother who would have a child and pray that the child become worse, or live or relate to the child in a way that the child can only turn out to be worse. There are issues, there are challenges, and we bear with you. Sometimes we may point our accusing fingers and all of that, but we've learned from the previous lessons that we don't have to do that without evidence. And even if there are evidence, I think we would have to temper justice with mercy. We appreciate you, mothers. We thank you so much for how you are able to decipher these things even before you get to the hospital. The first aid remedials you go through, the first aid regiment you go through, the care, the senses that you have that is able to detect everything from the child is just amazing. And we are just grateful. We thank you so much. Let's continue here. Older children may become more withdrawn, anxious, irritable, or have difficulty sleeping. Maybe the older children, we can have a conversation, they'll be able to describe what they're going through. And so we are able to help them. But if a child is going to have to go to school in the morning, and because they are stressed, they are not able to sleep well enough to be able to wake up active and go to school, school will be boring. And learning obviously would be a very frustrating exercise. If they are anxious, it means they are not even settled to listen to whatever instructions the teacher has got to put across. If they are irritable, a lot of the time we may interpret it that they are not being submissive and they are not making themselves teachable or trainable. And I mean, thank you, teachers, as well. Your job is very complex and very, very difficult. I mean, imagine a teacher with 10 children in a room coming from different homes, different family situations and conditions. And this teacher is also coming from a home with a very different situations and conditions around his home. And the teacher had to come and some way, somehow, manage all these 10 children coming from different home, different experience. I mean, thank you, teachers. I mean, we couldn't have any better people to help us grow and develop than you. We are grateful. Thank you, and continue the good job you're doing. It's not a very easy task you have taken upon yourself, and we are grateful. We thank you. If we have children who come to school and they are stressed, you know what to do. If they couldn't get enough sleep, you know what to do. If they are irritable, you know what to do. If they are anxious, you know what to do. You've done it so many times. You've trained so many people. Most of the people who can boast of a good future today, a good life today, that they're able to provide for their family, that they've become good fathers, good mothers, good doctors, good teachers, all came through you, and we are very grateful. Continue with that great job. It's important for parents and caregivers to be aware of these children's stress levels and provide support and resources to help them cope with the stress. Caregivers, thank you as well. I mean, you are the people who have also gone through those moments where parents are not there, where guardians are not there, biological people are not there, but by virtue of your profession, you're able to stand in for these parents and families who otherwise should have been at home and where these children would be to take care of them. But you've been able to stand in the gap, and you've helped many children. I mean, I've had situations where children have even been more attached to their caregivers than the parents because they end up spending a lot of time with them. We appreciate you. We thank you for the good job. Some caregivers have been very awesome. Families have not been able to let go of them. They've kept them along. They become part of families, and it's been wonderful. Family. If you have a caregiver who have helped, please remember to say thank you to them. No amount of payment would be good enough as a reward for the care they gave. We'll continue here. This may include talking to them about their feelings, teaching them relaxation techniques such as deep breathing and mindfulness. I think in the subsequent episode, I'm going to go through the breathing techniques. It's really helpful if we're able to teach the children at home, and even some adults, they will be able to manage some of these stress. When I was in the training in New York, the parenting training, it was an exercise that we did in class, and you will be amazed how within a matter of a minute, your whole body can, kind of a sudden rejuvenation hit your body, and you feel like, oh my goodness, it's more like you just went through some machine and it sucked every negative thing that got your body to be tensed, out of your body. And it's something that I would try to demonstrate here, maybe in the subsequent episode. And I believe that is going to be very helpful. Relaxation techniques, there are a few techniques that also help. I would add that to the subsequent episode we're going to be doing, and see how that benefits us. And then it will also be good to seek professional help. Sometimes between the time you are in a situation where you need the first aid, if you know some of these techniques, you're able to sustain yourself until you are able to reach a professional person to assist. We went further to see when children are stressed, how do they express it? When children are stressed, how do they express it? Children may express stress in a variety of ways depending on their age, personality, and coping strategies. So even with the children, we need to teach them, just like what we will do typically if they're growing and they start speaking. You would want them to know mom's name, dad's phone number, mom's phone number, where dad works, where mom works, where they live, the address, description, mom's car license plate number, that's car license plate number. All of these things are stuff that you would want to have your children know, because it kind of helps to get them to get the help they need, just in case they miss their way or they are stranded. Now, at that stage, if they're able to tell or describe where they live, and they have the ability of recalling some of these things to memory, then it will be a good time to teach them some coping skills. For example, if they see they are home and they see light coming from a plug at home, they don't have to go and touch that. The sparks are not Christmas light. The sparks are dangerous. So there are ways you show children some of these things so they are able not to endanger themselves, especially when they are alone. Once they have those abilities, you would want to teach them, hey, if you're upset, do not do A, do not do B, do not do C. Take a break, relax, get an adult, explain whatever is happening. These coping skills may help if you're eating and you're choking, what to do. We probably would do another program on that. If your brother is drinking water and he chokes, what to do. And I believe there are a lot of programs that we can do around this to help our children become even as children, responsible children, even as children, intelligent children, even as children, know the ABC of what to do in times of stress, either by themselves or their friend. Some common signs that a child may be experiencing stress include: one, behavioral changes. Children who are stressed may become more irritable, moody, and withdrawn. They may also exhibit changes in eating or sleeping habits. I think we talked about that at the top. But when children withdraw, how are we able to get around them and get them support? Because sometimes when they withdraw, we might not be able to tell the triggers. We just see the changes. We see the mood changing and all that. Parents, guardians, and people who help raise children at home should always be on the lookout and help some of these children. And again, it makes me miss Africa because, grandma will see, they pick these things very fast. So it doesn't degenerate before it shows. And sometimes they pick it up first before the mothers, and then they would show them, and by the time you have 2, 3 children, you become a master yourself. Probably that prepares you to become a grandmother or a grandfather as well. Emotional changes. Children who are stressed may become more anxious. So if the stress indicators are high, then these children are going to be more anxious, depressed, or fearful. So there are some children, they are very scared of noise. If there is anything that suddenly dangles, they startle and they don't want to move. They don't want to interact with people and all that. There are other children who get depressed, and so they don't want to communicate. They are just quiet and they keep to themselves. When they are fearful, it's quite concerning because you are not able to figure out what the triggers are. So if you get to know, then you'll be able to directly work on that. When children are afraid, some are afraid of colors, afraid of certain light, afraid of, clothing, afraid of, so many things. Get to know what your children get disturbed or frustrated by or fearful of, and then seek help where necessary. They may also have difficulty controlling their emotions or expressing their feelings. Exactly some of the things we talked about, those 5 strategies, we should teach children to be honest and clear when they have issues. We should teach children to be respectful and empathetic. We should teach them some of these strategies so they will be able to, by the time they form and start showing behaviors, the behaviors would stem out of some of these good strategies, and then it will help them just in case they find themselves in some of these situations. Number 3, it says physical symptoms. Children who are stressed may experience physical symptoms such as headaches, stomach aches, and fatigue. Yes, you can sometimes see children, they are dull, they don't want to move because of headache. If they have stomach ache, it's likely they will be holding their stomach, so you get to know. If they are fatigued, they are not even happy to join their friends to play. They would have their toys, but they will sit away. They would have their tablets in their hands, but they will not even watch. They are always either sleepy or slow, dull. They might not even have an appetite, to eat and all that. So you keep an eye on that and observe them. Be interested when you go to their school. Yes, they might write some reports and all that, but the minute or two you get to, pick the child, the teacher will be there. Just have a quick one. How was he today? Was he active? Was he fine? Are you happy? Right in front of the teacher. And if there are any signs that you should pick to, investigate further or ask further questions with the teacher. So going home, you know what to do for the child. And then number 4, changes in academic performance. This is a very crucial part, because at the end of the day, all that happens gets to the brain and it affects the functionality. And as a child, we want children to play as much as they learn, and we want to encourage them to do these things at their optimum. And so if children who are stressed may have difficulty concentrating and completing schoolwork, so it's no more interesting to them, they are not able to get their mind clear up, so they will be able to get the job, the schoolwork done. And even concentrating, it's very beautiful if you're teaching a child and you see their responses from how much they are concentrating and answering questions and participating when they are involved. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful experience, and it delights you, and you don't even want the session to end, and they don't want the session to end. And so we should do everything we can to get children in that state of mind to participate actively in some of these activities that makes them better and may exhibit changes in academic performance. Yeah, if they get to overcome whatever it is, they excel, academically, and their teachers are very proud of them. It's important to note that some children may not express their stress in obvious ways and may instead internalize their feelings or attempt to hide their distress. And we have children by some kind of a personality type. Some children may not want to show. Some children don't even want you to scold them. When they do something wrong, they immediately show you sign that, look, I acknowledge I've done something wrong, so don't start it, don't do it, and that's it. I remember when we were young, I had one sister, and interestingly, this particular sister who encouraged me to get the YouTube work going on. She was the kind that when she does anything that was wrong, and I hardly remember she did anything that was wrong when we were young, except she cried a little, much more than all of us. If she did anything and she was kind of scolded, she fell sick, and well, that was a long time ago, but it was very important to understand this personality type of the child, and then find a much more creative way to still correct them, so children don't take advantage once they know that, oh, because they know if they talk about it, I'll fall sick, then they begin to do that. But I remember genuinely she was the type, she hardly would offend anybody, and she grew up being the same anyway. So, when children have those personality type, be interested and know how you can help them become better. In such cases, it may be helpful to look for subtle changes in behavior or emotional expression to provide opportunities for children to talk about their feelings and concerns in a safe and supportive environment. Supportive environment has showed up here. Supportive. Be supportive. We had two words over there. It was being supportive, and I think I got it right here. Being supportive and positive. Yeah, being supportive and positive. So, I mean, once you know that a child is of this personality type, you'd want to be supportive and be positive with this child. It is also important to remember that stress can have long-term effect on a child's health and development, and that early intervention and support can help prevent negative outcomes. This is where we would end today program. I'm very happy that we had the opportunity to look at this again. I'll just recap the last one. Children who are stressed express it in behavioral changes, emotional changes, physical symptoms, and changes in academic performance. These are some of the things you would like to look at when it comes to whether children go through stress. The answer was yes, they go through stress, just like what adults go through. And so you would want to find creative ways of making these children feel very happy, accepted, and loved. As you do that, know that we're here for you, we love you, and we wish you all the best as you raise these children. You can get in touch with us on 347-658-7385, and then via email exclusiveroom@gmail.com. Thank you very much for tuning in. Have a wonderful morning. We are 1:29 here in America. I'm still in Atlanta. Wherever you are, we wish you all the best. You have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful evening. Have a wonderful rest. Good night.